What's up, everybody? Aaron and Abby back with another special edition. These are going to start not being special after a while, but Abby and I were fortunate enough to go to the AMC Scream Unseen on Monday night, and that happened to be the movie Companion, which we're showing one of the two trailers for right now.
My love must be a kind of polite love. All bright, I only have eyes for you.
I know it's going to sound cheesy, but the moment we locked eyes, there was just a spark.
And that was Companion from the minds who brought you Barbarian, also known as Drew Hancock, both writer and director, starring Sophie Thatcher, starring Jack Quaid. Lucas Gage makes an appearance in there as well. This is one of, I believe, made a few of our most anticipated lists.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were pretty anticipating this movie. Again, when they start the first trailer with From the Minds of Barbarian, people are really excited about that. I definitely was.
I was going in as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw up spoilers right away because I don't know when we're going to dive into spoilers, but this is a spoiler review. Right away. So I didn't know, I had seen one of the trailers, the first trailer. I thought the first trailer was very good and didn't give away a ton, which I appreciated, but I was intrigued. My expectations going in were that we're going to get a movie with, some sort of twist along the way. And other than that, I didn't really have much thoughts going into the movie. What were your kind of initial thoughts going in? I know you saw more than one trailer, which I cover my eyes for, but you did watch other trailers.
Well, you can cover your eyes for the second trailer, but you can still hear a certain plot detail, which is really annoying. That would be my soapbox for the day, is that I'm really getting tired of these trailers giving more and more away. I think one trailer, particularly the first one for this movie, did a really, really good job of being really ambiguous, not giving really anything away. It was just the two of them, Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher, at the table, not a whole lot of dialogue, and just her putting her hand in the fire. And maybe a little bit of dialogue. I forget what all was said, but that's it. When I saw that first trailer, I was like, oh, this, what is this about? What is the plot? What's going on? Who is doing what? It was really just a mystery of a movie, which I thought would have been perfect to just leave it at that. But then the second trailer came out and people are talking online and giving it away. Again, you can close your eyes for the trailer. You still hear it. So to me, that was very frustrating because I think it would have been cool for me, at least, to go into the movie not knowing this little plot detail and then get it revealed to me. It may be, looking back, it is a little bit obvious, but I thought it would have been a cool reveal.
Yeah, and I'll just get this out of the way right now. One of us liked the movie, Abby. I did not like this movie at all. So I'm going to be approaching this review from more of a negative angle. And I do understand why people like this movie. For me, horror comedies are very, very difficult to pull off. And when they start to not pull off, I start to disengage fully. I start to look for reasons maybe not to like it. But at the same point, I do think this movie was rather obvious with the twist. I did not know about the twist with So just setting up a synopsis of the movie. There's a remote cabin in the middle of the woods where friends are getting together. Let me know if you've heard that before, because that's not the most original setup there. This like billionaire Russian guy lives there. He was kind of funny. Sergey was his name because Sergey was his name. He made some Russian jokes. All of his codes are Joseph Stalin's birthday. One of the funniest jokes in the entire movie, especially when Jack Quaid's character does not know Joseph Stalin's birthday, so he's like ripping through books.
He pulls a book off.
Yeah, like trying to find because he has like $12 million in a safe,
which we don't know that.
Yeah, but they reveal that pretty early on in the movie, being the reason why they've all gotten together, and it's a group of friends, yeah. That's kind of the early setup of the movie.
They set it up as this group of friends, as like a not very original setup, as this group of friends are getting together to just get away and hang out at this remote mansion, is what it is, in the middle of nowhere with a lake, and it's really beautiful. And it's Jack Quaid bringing his girlfriend, Sophie Thatcher, meeting with another couple, forget what their names are. Two gentlemen, and then the Russian guy and a younger girl.
Yeah, so Eli and Patrick are the gay couple.
Yes.
Eli, played by Harvey Guillen, who was also in What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, apparently. My favorite character in the movie, Eli. Loved him. Spoiler alert, he dies first. Mistake. But whatever. Lucas Gage also in the movie as Patrick. And then Kat is Josh's friend. Of course, this guy is named Josh because that's just a perfect name for it. No offense to my best man, Josh Merriweather. Great best man, but not all Joshes are created equal. And then Iris, played by Sophie Thatcher, who I hear a lot of people giving her a ton of credit. She's good. She is. The way she's talking at the beginning about love and like remembering the first time they're meeting and everything, it was robotic. So I mean,
that is the big twist that we keep alluding to, is that the Sophie Thatcher character, she is a robot, or basically a robot that Jack Quaid can do with as he pleases and program to his liking. And again, that was the big thing that they gave away in the trailer. What they don't give away in the trailer is what Aaron kind of already touched on a little bit, is that the whole...
It's a ruse.
Yes, the whole big conflict is this whole get-together is a plan between Jack Quaid and the girl who's with the Russian. They want to kill the Russian guy because he has a ton of money. And I enjoyed the plot for what it is. I know there's a lot of little things that happen that you can nitpick. I thought it was funny enough. All the little jokes. It is very much like a Black Mirror type episode, but I thought it was a lot more lighthearted. And it's really not that, I mean, it's dark, but it's really not that dark of a movie, honestly. And again, like I liked how everything was set up. I really didn't mind the characters. Like, again, I thought Sophie Thatcher did really, really good. Mm-hmm. I'm on the Jack Quaid train. I think he does really good. I would like to see him do a different type of character in the future, because spoiler alert, he's not a good guy.
Like, and they make that clear.
They do make it very clear.
And he's like not a good guy to the point that it's like, we in our one of our other special editions, Bystanders, another movie that tackles the themes very differently, but is another movie where men suck. And I have no problem with that being a message, because there's a reason that message needs to be put out there. I agree with it. But to me, Jack Quaid's character, a little bit weaker, written. Drew Hancock, he's written one other movie before. And Abby knows I'm going to bring it up because I am arguing from the perspective that this movie is not that great. So I'm going to bring up that he's the writer of Fred 3, Camp Fred. That's his only other credit. So massive upgrade here, I assume. I haven't seen Fred 3, but I'm going to assume. But there's still those problems of a first-time director and a first-time writer here that, to me, bugged me a little bit more. There was a moment where he gets his leg ran over by a car, and he has a ever so slightly limp at times in the movie. It doesn't really play any factor. There's not like a point where he needs to chase after and he can't. I mean, I guess he's chasing after the car that Sophie Thatcher, with her 100% intelligence, it takes her a really long time to figure out the pitch she needs to use to get the car to go with his voice. Like, she's 100% intelligent, and it's still not very smart.
Well, yeah,
and they try to explain that, by being like, she can only get to a certain level of intelligence even if she's super smart. I was like, well, that's convenient because like she's acting pretty stupid still for having 100% intelligence. And I didn't notice a huge difference when she had 0 intelligence. She still seems smart enough to me, but.
No, I was going to say there are like a few conveniences because one of the big things is the Iris, who is Sophie Thatcher, she's controlled through basically like an app or like a programming on on Jack Quaid's phone, which she's able to steal. So she's able to make her intelligence higher. She's able to change her voice. She's able to basically program herself.
Change her eye color. They had to show us that. Cool.
Just kind of program herself in different ways that kind of help her out throughout the movie, which again didn't really bother me that much. I don't know. Like, I just thought it's a fun movie. Sure, the message is maybe a little heavy-handed and like pretty obvious. I don't think that this is necessarily on the level of like Barbarian, with the twists and like different tonal switches that happen in that movie that I thought were really, really good. And like on a first time watch of Barbarian, you're like, oh, like what is actually going on here? Like what is happening? That doesn't really happen in this movie, honestly. But again, like it's just a really straightforward movie that I think you can certainly have fun with if the humor works for you. And if you are okay with these characters and are okay with certain little conveniences.
Yeah, and I won't just keep repeating the points of like how I didn't. For me, like fun is in the eye of the beholder with this movie. If you're not having fun with it, from my experience, it becomes a really kind of long, not very dramatic, and not very high stakes because they literally give away the ending at the beginning when she says, "I kill him," and it's the best thing I ever did. And movies very rarely pull that off, and I like it. This movie did nothing with it. It told you the ending, and I can't understand why.
Which, I mean, the movie is predictable in a sense. Like once you know all of the twists,
she tells you,
and what the plot actually is. So it's like, yeah, she tells you that, but it's like you can probably see like how it's gonna go in the end. I think another one of the better twists, and I think we disagree on this too, but I think another twist that I really liked in this movie was the 2 gentlemen couple. One of them is also a sex robot, which I thought, I don't know, I really liked that scene a lot because they're kind of, the group is like arguing about the money and how they're splitting it. And then all of a sudden the one gay guy looks over and he's like, okay, sleep.
Gil.
And then
Gil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other guy just goes to sleep. And you find out that he's another robot, which I liked that twist. I thought that was really like kind of clever and I enjoyed it. But again, I think we disagree.
Yeah. And just one last nitpick from me, and we'll get to ratings after this. Splitting of the money. Let's talk about that, because the way they split the money is they're like, there's $12 million in here. Scoop, 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 scoop. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, it was really weird because it was like a very inexact division of the money, where it's like, oh, you get 4 scoops, and then next guy come up, you get 4 scoops. Like which again, it's not a problem if the movie was better. But for me, the movie wasn't better. So these things stick out when you get ran over by a car and you have a less of a limp than I'd have. It
like
from
rolled over his foot a little bit.
A car went over his leg.
I know.
His knee and foot. A car went over. If you want to see how I'd walk after that, watch after this review, because I'm probably getting ran over by a car. No. But in all seriousness, we definitely disagree with this movie. So let's go ahead and get to those reviews or ratings. All right. I think we traditionally go with the ratings when there's a big disagreement with the -1 first, so we can end on a positive. Spoiler alert, that's me. I'm the problem. It's me. And yeah, this movie on paper works better than in practice for me. For me, it just, the jokes didn't land very well. I thought that for the most part, the characters were okay, but they killed my favorite character first in Gil. Like, and that's just like even if I liked the movie, I'd be like, why kill Gil first? He was amazing. Like, wrong move. And the way that they killed Kat is hilarious because she just like gets stabbed in the back and like goes sits on the couch, and then like a scene or two later, they're like, yeah, she's dead. See ya, Kat. 1.5 videotapes out of 5 for me. And going into the movie, I did not expect to feel that way about the movie. This might be one of my most disappointed by the end of the year, which if I had to guess, I hope I don't get more disappointed. This was like Smile, but worse, which also had Lucas Gage in it.
Yeah, so it's definitely not that low for me. I think, not to like bag on Aaron or anything like that, but I do think he's probably going to be in the minority on this opinion. I think there are other people that are not going to like this movie either, which is totally fine. You don't have to like it. For me though, I did enjoy it. It did work for me. I mean, I wasn't like laughing out loud and crying in the movie theater, but I thought it was funny enough. I thought the characters were good. I liked the story. I liked where things went. I don't know. I just thought it was a good time. So I gave it a 4.
All right. So that's one of our bigger distances between our review. So this is my companion, Abby. I'm her companion, Aaron. And we will be back with our regular scheduled program every Thursday, Why We Love Horror. The previous week, the bigger release or whatever the feature releases we feel should be featured are every Monday versus special editions throughout the week. You saw 2 this week with Bystanders and Companion from Abby and I. So stay on the lookout for those. They can come at any point. Thursdays, the flagship show. Fridays, Why We Love Horror Trivia. And you can join us on Letterboxd. This is the Letterboxd Why We Love Horror 2025 Horror Challenge. You're only 4 movies behind right now. And it's a top 2023 movie, top 2022 movie. Very easy. Watch 4 good movies from the last 4 years. Like basically Horrorville. It's all on Letterboxd at a comb right there. So join us, make some comments, talk with us. And thank you for tuning in. Either we made you very happy or we made you very sad. Whichever way you are, we accept you, or you're in the middle. And that makes the most sense probably of the 2 of us. But I'm Aaron. That's Abby. Have a good one.